$1 VET.
Let's get into it.
So guys, in today's video, this brief update on Vechain, we're going to get into why we have a pretty juicy target for VET coin. We think this thing can go to $1, and this is how. As we get into this video, guys, if you think this is useful and informative, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you happen to be new to the channel and you'd like to stay up to date with those new cryptocurrencies and hidden gems, then why not consider subscribing to the channel? By becoming a subscriber, you'll be kept up to date with absolutely everything we do here. It is free, you'll stay well informed, so why not? And Chris, is there anything else you would like to add before we jump on down to the charts and start talking about why we think a $1 VET is really achievable?
Yeah, before we get into all that juicy stuff, Nick, it'd be really interesting to get your views and opinions. Where do you think the price will be for VET come the peak of the bull run? Lots of people talking about $2, $1.50, $1 like ourselves, but we're really interested to get your views and opinions.
Fantastic. Right, let's just jump on straight down.
Let's do it.
Right, guys, this is Vechain to the USDT, the daily chart, and Binance is the data source as usual. Nothing really much has changed here since we last did the previous video, other than the fact that we've had a recent pullback from Bitcoin, which has really pulled the rest of the market down with it. And Vechain was no exception. Here you can see it came right back down towards a previous area of support, and from now, we're kind of a little bit above that, but are below the previous area of support, which was the 618 Fibonacci retracement zone. So we've actually dropped below that 20.4 cent area and is currently trading at 19.4. And so we're going to have a bit of a battle back to the upside in due course. But, you know, that's not what this video is about. We'll do plenty of technical analysis on Vechain in the future. We are going to be giving you a kind of a brief idea as to why we think Vechain has every possibility and possible scenario in mind as to why it can get to $1. And Chris, you want to share your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's so well integrated with, you know, real world companies like your Walmart China, for example, BMW, Renault, and then some of the institutions as well, Nick. You know, for me, it's just immense, and the use case spectrum is quite large as well now. So yeah, really bullish on Vechain, been invested in it an awful long time, and for me it's so undervalued.
It really is. And guys, if I just pull up coin market cap here, a lot of people are a bit concerned, right? Because it has a 64 billion coins in circulating supply, and that can be a little bit daunting. And everyone thinks, well, to get to $1, you're going to need this market cap to be $64 billion. And here's a quick question for you, Chris. Do you think Chainlink can get to a $64 billion market cap?
Yeah, I do.
Absolutely.
As that sounds. and this is the thing, right? Like when we started this channel, the market cap for crypto was 300 billion. And we were talking about multi-trillion-dollar market, and people were laughing at us. We were talking about tokenized stocks. We were talking about tokenizing property. All these things, and we're starting to see it all transpire now. So, you know, I expect nothing different when it comes to Vechain. I expect it to take out this target. It's just a matter of when.
This is exactly it. So I think, yes, absolutely, every possibility here to get to $64 billion market cap. Ultimately, market cap is just it's a representation of the value. It doesn't actually mean that much money actually flows into a project. It literally is just the current price multiplied by the circulating supply. It's a really basic equation. It gives you an idea of what the project might be worth if everything were to liquidate instantaneously, which obviously is impossible. And, you know, ultimately, you know, by setting just a fraction of it, you affect the price drops, the market cap drops. It's not that much money was actually pulled out of the market at all. So market cap's kind of a poor way to kind of measure, you know, the supply and demand, right? Because ultimately, to get a market cap of 64 billion, you do not require $64 billion to flow into the project. You just need a significant amount to flow in. And this is something that some of those institutions have been working out and calculating with Bitcoin. How much money does it take to move the needle for Bitcoin? So as much as we like to have, you know, all these fantastic institutions coming into the crypto space, you know, buying up the Bitcoin and stuff, you have to be prepared. They are used to manipulating markets. They get fined an awful lot of money, every year for manipulations or doing illegal activities, and those fines that they pay are usually less than what they actually earn from the manipulation in itself. So yep, they are here to stay. They are going to continue to manipulate, and unfortunately that means that you're going to have to try to bear through it, as it were, and watch that space. So ultimately, with that being said, kind of on a short tangent there, Chris, ultimately it does not take that much money to move the needle here with VeChain. Yes, it will be a few billion, but ultimately, guys, we are talking about the only 5-star rated blockchain as a service provider in the world that is geared up towards enterprises. And obviously anyone who watched our partners video that we did the other day, you'll know that ultimately that's so well integrated into many big organizations around the world. It's hard to imagine that this is not going to be successful. It's also really hard to even kind of come to grips with the fact that it is not a top 10 cryptocurrency, and the likes of Doge is a top 10 cryptocurrency. Get your head around that. Something that actually has a real world use case and is heavily adopted globally is not a top 10 cryptocurrency, whereas a joke is a top 10 cryptocurrency. That's the world that we live in, guys. But let's get back to that dollar valuation, right? Because ultimately, guys, we are seeing that our first price target here is 40 cent. And we do think that's something that we were likely to see during the month of May, give or take, a few weeks here and there. After that, we are talking about a 60 cent VeChain, and then as a 79 cent VET coin, and then a 92 cent. And obviously this thing can go much higher, right? And a lot of people were talking about $2, as Chris kind of was saying at the beginning there. And that's an 838% move from roughly that kind of position. Let me just pull that back down into there. So actually a 927% move. Now, I think $2 is a bit of a stretch, but that's still possible. $1.50 can happen. But ultimately, we are targeting $1, that 92 cent area that we kind of just spoke about, because that's what the data is currently suggesting to us. That's what is currently being presented as a real life target based on the calculations from the Fibonacci extension levels. Now, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but it's just predicting out roughly mathematically where things are likely to find good support or good resistance. And most of the time you'll find that it plays out quite well, and it usually hits those on the nose. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. So for us, we want to see 50 cent come in. Obviously 40 is the first price target. We're looking for 50 cent. We're going to really assess the data that's in front of us at 50 cent to see if it still has that kind of motion to move on to $1. But I do think it absolutely can. And there's very few projects that I think are as well positioned to do such a thing than VeChain. I think VeChain is definitely one of those ones that is going to be one of the best performers of 2021, in my opinion, moving all the way from sub 1 cent through to where it has landed today, all the way through to getting to $1 in the future. I am incredibly bullish on VeChain. What it is doing in the real world is absolutely fantastic, and I can see this thing doing incredibly well long term, beyond 2021, way into 2030. This is the kind of project that you can rest easy on. It's one that so heavily integrated and heavily used by large organizations worldwide that actually it's not something that's going to easily disappear overnight. So you can kind of rest easy. At least I do anyway. I'm not sure if you align to that, Chris.
Yeah, I really do. You say it can, I say it will. I am so confident with VeChain, and I have been since that sub 1 cent, right? And when people were telling me they were selling at 1 cent, I was pulling my hair out, to be quite honest. And my thoughts haven't changed on VeChain. I expect these targets to get taken out. I expect big things, and it's going to be a huge enterprise level project in 5-10 years time. It's going to be massive.
Absolutely. Guys, if you found this a brief update on VeChain useful and informative, maybe even entertaining at times, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you happen to be new to the channel and you'd like to stay up to date with those new cryptocurrencies and hidden gems, then do subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with everything we do here at Cheeky Crypto. It is free. You'll stay well informed, so why not? And with that said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah, take care.